Hello and welcome to another tier list video. Today we're taking a look once again at the Old School Runescape skill capes. But this time, instead of looking at how cool they look aesthetically, we're throwing that out the window and we're only looking at the perks. So for those of you who don't know, all the skill capes in Runescape have specific perks or just an individual perk that provides the user, and so I'm going to be ranking them based on how useful they are. Starting us off, we have the Agility skill cape perk. This is a substitute for the Graceful cape, so you can wear it instead of Graceful and still have the Graceful set bonus. Honestly, that's not great. Really, the only thing it provides more than the Graceful cape is it provides some defense bonuses, but if you're wearing Graceful, you probably don't care about that. The other thing is it restores 100% run energy and provides basically the effect of a stamina potion for the same amount of time, so that's also really just not great. I mean, that's like 2k worth of GP value. So Agility skill cape perk, honestly, it's one of the worst for me, gonna be in the F tier. Up next, we have the Attack skill cape perk. This one makes it so that you don't need Warrior Guilds tokens in order to grind for the defenders, which, you know, if you have 99 attack, you probably already have a Dragon Defender unless you lost it in the Wilderness. So again, another one that's pretty much completely useless. I can't really think of any use case for this unless you've lost your Dragon Defender somehow. So, and even then, grinding out tokens doesn't take that long, so it's also going to be in the F tier. Up next, we have the Construction skill cape. This one is one of the best. It provides unlimited teleports to your player-owned house and also unlimited teleports to any house portal in the game, which is super nice because there's a lot of house portals in the game which are kind of hard to get to, and so having that access is just really nice, really useful. Construction, gonna be S tier. Up next, we have the Cooking skill cape. This makes it so that when you're wearing it, you don't burn any food, which is pretty good if you want to do some post-99 money making from cooking. Maybe you really like money making, or, you know, it's just a nice AFK task. It's really good also if you want to tick cook Karambwans, because normally you burn them up through 99, but with it on, you can really make pretty good money per hour doing that. So Cooking skill cape, gonna be a solid B tier for me. Up next, we have Crafting. The Crafting skill cape it provides unlimited teleports to the Crafting Guild, which I believe is the closest teleport to a bank in the game. So anytime you're doing something where you need a lot of teleports, you know, instead of using the Castle Wars Ring and Dueling teleport, Crafting skill cape is just going to do it better. So definitely a solid skill cape, going to be A tier. Up next, we have the Defense cape. This acts as a Ring of Life once per day. And, you know, it can be okay in some situations, specifically on Hardcore Ironman. If you want to use this instead of a Ring of Life, it can definitely be pretty good, but for a normal player, you're probably not going to use it, so it's going to find itself in the C tier. Up next, we have the Farming skill cape. This provides 5% extra yield on herb runs, so if you want to do some post-99 herb runs to make some money, it also stacks the magic secateurs and diary boosts, so pretty much it's just going to help you make more money from your herb runs. Definitely a good one, going to be A tier. Up next, we have the Firemaking skill cape. This one, pretty crappy. It acts as a light source for anytime you're in a dungeon that's too dark. So sure, maybe you could say that's useful because it can't be extinguished, but why not just use a bullseye lantern like everybody else? It's just a single inventory space. So it also acts as a warm clothing for Wintertot, but hitting 4 pieces of warm clothing is not hard at all, so it's going to be D tier. Up next, we have the Fishing skill cape. This provides unlimited teleports to Otto's Grotto and the Fishing Guild. Fishing Guild, not great. You can just get there with a skills necklace, or, you know, there's a bunch of teleports that are pretty close to it. Otto's Grotto, maybe you can say that's kind of useful because there's not any teleports that are super close to it, but, you know, Barbarian Assault, really not that far, so again, another one that's just not great, so gonna find itself in the D tier. Up next, we have Fletching. This provides a bronze crossbow and mithril grapple 3 times a day if you search it. So I guess if you happen to have your Fletching skill cape on you, maybe it's your only one, and you come across some place where there's a shortcut that requires a mithril grapple and you don't have one on you, sure, maybe you can use it. Other than that, it's really not great. There's not that many good mithril grapple shortcuts, so it's not a great one, but again, it can be used, so put it in C tier. Up next, we have the Herbalore skill cape. This one has 2 perks. First, you can use grimy herbs on vials of water to make unfinished potions, and you also get the XP from it. Obviously, you're already 99, but if you want to go for 200 mil, I guess you could do it that way. You know, you make a little bit more money that way if you want to make money from unfinished potions, but again, not a great money maker for somebody who has 99 Herbalore, which is a super expensive skill, so money's already probably not a huge issue for you. So just a pretty useless perk. And then the other perk is you can go to Zahur and Narda, and for 200 GP each, he'll turn your herbs and vials of water into unfinished potions, which is okay maybe if you're an Iron Man and you don't want to do it yourself, but for a regular player, it's just cheaper to buy it off the Grand Exchange, so another pretty bad one. We'll put it in the D tier. Up next, we have the Hit Points Cape. This one is pretty good. Hit point restoration is doubled. Regeneration, I should say. Every minute, instead of 1 hit point per minute, you get 2 hit points. This also stacks with the regen bracelet, so definitely has its use cases. You know, in Wintertot, if you use a regen bracelet and Hit Points Cape, you don't need to bring much food at all. So I would say Hit Points Cape, pretty good. We'll put it in the B tier. Up next, we have the Hunter Skill Cape. This one provides 5 teleports to red and black Chinchampas. I would say it's more useful for black Chinchampas. You know, maybe if you want to make a little bit of money, 99 Hunter, you're going to make really good money from black Chinchampas, assuming you don't get attacked too often. And 5 teleports a day, you know, 5 runs of black chins a day, I think that's pretty good money. It's not super hard to get there to begin with, but having a convenient teleport, I would say, is still nice if you want to make efficient money, GP per hour. So we'll put the Hunter Cape in the B tier. Up next, we have the Magic Skill Cape. This one allows you to swap your spellbook 5 times a day. I would say marginally useful for PVMers, more so just a convenience factor, but for PvPers, definitely really good. You can teleblock somebody on the normal spellbook and then spellbook swap to Ancients to get freezes, so just because of its use in PKing, it's going to find itself in the A tier. Max Cape we'll cover last. Up next, we have the Mining Skill Cape. This gives you a 5% chance to get an extra ore whenever you're mining any ore up to Adamant. Also stacks with the Varrock armor. So especially if you're an Iron Man, maybe you're mining Adamant, I think this is pretty good. Can definitely help you get a little bit more ore per hour. But for everybody else, it's not great, so it'll just find itself in the C tier. Up next, we have the Prayer Skill Cape. The Prayer Skill Cape acts as a Holy Wrench, which gives you a little bit more prayer restoration when you sip a prayer pot, or a super restore. But it doesn't stack with the Holy Wrench, and so normally you're just going to use a Holy Wrench and have something better in your cape slot. So the Prayer Cape, Prayer perk, kind of useless. Going to be in the F tier. Up next, we have the Range Skill Cape. Now, the Range Skill Cape can be combined with a Ava's Accumulator or an Ava's Assembler. And basically, it provides, you know, the ammo saving that it does, but it doesn't give you the range offensive bonuses that the Accumulator or the Assembler does. So if you want to go for DPS, you're just better off using one of those. Pretty much the only time I see people use this is sometimes in raids. If they want a little bit more defensive bonus, they'll use a Range Skill Cape rather than an Assembler or Accumulator. So it has its uses, but overall not great, so it'll be in the D tier. Up next, we have the Runecrafting one. One of the best skill cape perks in the game for skilling, I would say. It acts as any tiara, which, you know, that's not great. It's not super hard just to wear a tiara. But the important thing is your pouches never degrade, which is really nice to not have to go back there and get them repaired, especially if you don't have NPC contact. It can be pretty annoying, so, you know, just helps you make pretty good money. There's a lot of money to be made post 99 Runecrafting. It's really good GP per hour, especially if you don't have to repair your pouches, so I would say Runecrafting Cape, gonna be in the A tier. Up next, we have the Slayer Skill Cape. This gives you a 10% chance to repeat your previous Slayer task, which I think is kind of bad because most of the time you're not gonna repeat it unless it's a really good one. And then again, it's only a 10% chance, so most of the time this Skill Cape perk is gonna proc when you don't even want it to, and you're just gonna decline it. So pretty underwhelming, honestly, but it can be good if you happen to get a task that you like and you want to keep going, so it'll be in the C tier. Up next, we have the Smithing Skill Cape, another really great one in my opinion. Makes the coal bag hold 36 coal instead of 27. So if you want to make good money at Blast Furnace post 99, you can make a lot of money making Runite bars, Adamant bars, even Mithril bars. And having those extra slots on the coal bag for coal means you can make more trips with your metal, and you're just going to make more GP per hour. So I think Smithing Skill Cape, a pretty solid one, going to be A tier. Up next, we have the Strength Cape. This one is super boring. Unlimited teleports to the Warriors Guild. Another one that could just be used by Combat Bracelet. It doesn't provide anything else, so Strength Cape going to be finding itself in the F tier. Up next, we have the Thieving Skill Cape. This gives an additional 10% chance to be successful when pickpocketing. I believe if you have the Thieving skill cape and 99 Thieving, you'll never fail a Master Farmer, even without the Artie Diary. And if you have the Artie Diary and this, they do stack, and so you can go to something like Firewatch and make really good money per hour, or go to Elves, Pickpocket Elves, make really good money per hour. So Thieving skill cape, definitely a solid A tier. Up next, we have the Woodcutting skill cape. This gives you an additional 10% chance of finding a bird's nest when woodcutting. Now, this is not a 10% flat, this is 10% multiplicative, so I don't know, what is it, a 3 or 4% chance to get a bird's nest when you're woodcutting? It's now going to be a 3.3 or 4.4% chance, so pretty useless. I don't know anybody who woodcuts post 99. If you need bird's nests and you're an Iron Man, you're probably just going to kill them all or something else, or do birdhouse runs just so much quicker, so it's going to be another D tier for woodcutting. Up next, we have the Max Cape. Now this one, obviously, it combines all the skill cape perks, and because of that reason, it's just the best. It has all the good skill cape perks. There's really nothing bad to say about the Max Cape. You can also combine it with the Mythical Cape, or the Inferno, or the Fire Cape, so it's just the best one in the game. Easy S tier. Well, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.